Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing the chess.com bots for the month of June, from the 450 ELO white belt Dave to the completely unknown rated sensei. Let's get started with game number 1. Alright, first up we have Dave, who says, "Howdy, I'm Dave, always nice to see a new face around the dojo." And I don't know, I feel like over time, as we continue to do these monthly bots, I get a little bit more disappointed that there's really nothing new about them besides their text. So here Dave says, "For me, karate is about getting out of the house and having a fun workout." Good for you, Dave. Because the thing about bots is that they're really just programmed to systematically make errors at a certain rating level. Whatever chess.com assesses is necessary to achieve that rating level. So you can pretty much play whatever, and eventually it will give you free material, or it will hang mate, or give you a huge positional advantage, but usually it's the first one. Usually it'll give you a huge chunk of material, and then from there you can just convert the game. So my line of reasoning is I could play the London, or if they're going to keep these bots really boring and not play anything interesting, then I can just sauce on it and try to defeat it by moving the knight back and forth. So we'll use this game as my case in point. So there goes the king to the middle. Oh goodness, what is he doing? Go back, mister. This is not where you want to be right now. But like I said, a human player would basically never play like this, and probably not a 450 rated player either, but it's the bot. Okay, so we get our first bit of free material. Honestly, you could write that off as a sacrifice to expose the king. I'm just going to put the king back and go back to moving the knight back and forth. So right here, bishop takes c2 would trap the queen. Okay, we get a trade, so I'll have to find a different piece to move around. And we get a free queen. So I'm gonna be honest, this took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I honestly think the bot did really well here. But that's just a way of personifying the algorithm and saying the algorithm is built to last a lot longer before it gives you a free queen, or at least in this game, it waited a lot longer before giving us a queen. So now, even with this 50 move lead that I've given the bot, by literally not developing any of my pieces, the only thing I did was take back the knight and take back the bishop, and now take back the queen. Now it's just a matter of conversion. So we can just open up the queen side, and we can probably hunt down mate in a couple of moves here. Just kind of developing all of our pieces, bringing them out into the center. I mean, that's where the king is, so that's where we're going to focus our attack. And you could probably play this a lot more precisely than I am, but just kind of bringing all of your pieces in the general direction of where you want to attack is more than enough to finish off this bot. Oh, maybe I could get ladder's mate here. Nice. All right, we'll take... Is it a true ladder's mate? Let's see. F2, we'll just take with the king. That's the second time in one game the king has gone to F2. Nice. And we do get the ladder's mate. Alright, with that, to everybody's shock, we somehow defeat the 450 ELO bot. And I don't mean to sound sour at all, because it is fun to have these kind of monthly updated bots. I just wish they would do something a little bit more interesting with them. Like, I don't know, White Belt Dave, we'll use him as our example. Maybe he's not very good at karate, and every so often he chops the board, and the board shakes and a piece or two disappears from the board. And then he could say something goofy like, whoops, wrong board, because you know how they hit boards in karate. Anyways, you get the idea. I kind of wish they would shake it up a little bit. Maybe it could be part of like enabled themes. So if you don't want to play with the goofy theme or whatever, you can just turn it off and play a regular game. If you're really into playing bots that just kind of talk to you in character. Or you could enable the theme and then something weird could happen on the board and it might be a little bit more fun. I mean, it would definitely make for better content for me, but I think it could be a little bit more of an involved experience. Anyways, with that, to everybody's shock, we do defeat White Belt Dave. Let's go to move on to bot number 2. All right, bot number 2 is, I guess, bots number 2, since there's 2 of them, the Blunder brothers. What's scarier than playing an 800 rated opponent? Playing brothers with a combined skill of an 800 rated opponent. Okay, so 2 400s, great. We're back to playing White Belt Dave. Apart we never lose, together we always win. We'll see about that. For this game, I'm gonna play a little bit stronger. I'm not gonna play as silly as playing the knight back and forth, but I'm not gonna go like crazy far out of my way to reach for an advantage in the first 20 moves. I'm just gonna play super simple, develop all of my pieces, and castle, and eventually it will basically give me a positional advantage. Right, bishop to e3, and it's a little bit of a shame because these are very inhuman moves, at least for an 800 elo player. It's unlikely that you'd catch an 800 elo player playing the bishop back when they've already clearly understood, you know, the goal of the opening. All right, we get rook to b1, which is just free exchange. Queen does take back. Let's just go ahead and castle. Like, this is what I'm talking about here. I could play knight to g4, looking to take on e3 and double the pawns, weaken this diagonal looking into the king, but I'll play it even simpler than that. I'm just going to castle out of the way. Queen comes back to d1. I still could just go for this idea, but let's go even simpler. Rook to c8, just putting it on the open file. Queen to c1. There's definitely tactical ideas here. We'll play knight b4. Knight e4 is an idea. And I mean, it's just giving me so much here to work with. Right, okay. We do get h4. Maybe the pawn by itself will come and checkmate me. Let's go ahead and just hit him with knight to a2. I mean, since the knight is pinned anyways, we can apply as much pressure as we want and the knight can never move out of the way. Okay, queen to a1. I'm trying to think if there's something more that I can get out of this besides just the free pawn. I probably can, but like I said, I don't even really need to overthink this. You can kind of just play generally good chess and the advantages will start up. Oh my goodness, another free queen. Okay, I was kind of hoping he'd be a little more subtle about it so I could make my point about playing positionally, but looks like we just got a free queen out the gate, which, you know, I'll take it. Sure, we can trade everything. In fact, I'm going to double down on the knight. If you're ever up material, just go for all the trades you can, because I promise you it's going to be a lot easier to defeat your opponent if it's just your extra queen against their single king, versus an extra queen amidst a whole bunch of other extra pieces. Bishop g5, not even taking back my knight. I'm just knight back to d2, I guess. Nice, pre-move the recapture. That's always satisfying. Bro, okay. We'll play this, threaten the mate. e3 does wiggle its way out of it. I think I can sack the bishop for a pretty quick mate here. We'll play check. I don't know if I've calculated this correctly, but for the sake of keeping it interesting, we'll sack the bishop. We're looking for rook here. If f3, I can take on e3. Check, nice. Okay, sweet, king shuffles over, check again. We're at least winning the rook on g1. Is rook c2 just completely winning? Oh yeah, 100%. All right, rook c2, we're looking for mate on e2. All right, rook comes in to block, force mate in 1, pre-move the mate, nice. And with that, we defeat bot number 2. Let's go to move on to bot number 3. All right, bot number 3 is Britlynn, rated 1350. She kind of looks like Alexandra Botez, I feel like. All right, let's play d4. We will finally play a London, and we'll see if we actually get a free queen this game. I'm genuinely amused the fact that we got a free queen against the 450 and the 800 elo bot. Go ahead, try to step to me. I'll hook kick you into a locker. Okay, well, we can just play the game too. We don't have to get aggressive. Ew, that move was cringeworthy. Ouch. I start strong, end strong, in the middle strong. Incredible. Knight to c6. We'll just kind of fast forward here through the London. Sure, we'll target e4. f5 would be interesting. Oh my goodness. More free pieces. I mean, again, I want to give the bot the benefit of the doubt that maybe this is a really awesome sacrifice, but the truth is it's just free, and now I'm going to be able to trade off pieces. We'll even hit a little pseudo castle. Even when I can't castle, I still castle. And then we can just trade everything off here. Oh, that went by even faster than I was kind of hoping. All right, e4, break open the center. If that's where the king is going to hang out, that's where we're going to hang out as well. Nice, we'll give a little check. King doesn't get to castle, sweet, that's how we like it. Let's go ahead and play knight to f1. This knight really doesn't have a future here. It's kind of held back by all the pawns. So we'll reroute it to g3, where it has some better hopes. Oh, nice, we can force another trade. And again, now we just kind of machine the bot. Trade everything off, and eventually you'll walk away with the victory. Sweet, double up on the open file. Queen to f4. That's pretty aggressive for a lone queen. Let's play here, target the rook, trap the king. Queen goes back. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I guess we'll just double up again. Sure. h5, super aggressive. Let's play this, take advantage of the weaknesses it's creating. Knight to e5, more free material. We're just getting all the free pieces today. All right, let's boot the rook out of here. Oh, it doesn't even move the rook. Oh, goodness. Why does this feel worse than giving away a free queen? Threatening mate, maybe? Oh, queen to f7 comes in for the block. Can I force mate here anyways? That would be pretty nice. I think there's ideas here where we end up with the rook on g7, knight on g6. We'll see if we can actually force it though. So now we're looking for check and then mate. Okay, free rook, yeah. Necessary to stop mate. That's good. That's a good sign though. That means we're definitely threatening mate. And obviously if I'm given the choice, I'm gonna go with ladders mate every single time. Okay, with that we defeat bot number 3. I'm genuinely curious what the sensei's rating is now, because it could be rated 3000 and maybe play like a 2000. Let's go to move on to bot number 4. All right, game number 4, we get the Shaolin Monk. Let this game be a ballet of wits and cunning. All right, let's let it be exactly that. Knight to c3, sure, we'll kind of just play this as concretely as we've played the other ones. Oh, we're going for an interesting line here. Okay, so the interesting thing is about playing bots. Again, it's not like playing a human, obviously. That's a dead horse at this point that we've beaten over and over. But against a normal player, I'd definitely play c6 here. I mean, I wouldn't even bat an eye. Maybe bishop to f5. With the idea of allowing the capture to double the pawns and look for e5. The problem is a bot might accidentally find a really good sequence of moves at a critical point where I might make a mistake in a position that is very practically played, but not very concrete necessarily. So I'm going to keep it very, very concrete, not mess up my pawn structure unnecessarily. Sure, we get e4, I'll go ahead and take. Nice, we can trade everything off on f6 if the bot pleases, sure. Yep, so far so good. And we can just castle right away. Okay, we get knight to f3. Let's put this bishop on the long diagonal. I mean, just because I'm playing concretely doesn't mean I have to play weak. Bishop to g2. This is a very interesting position already, actually. Okay, let's play knight to d7. Just continue our development. g5. This is so aggressive. Queen g6 is probably fine. Queen g6, knight e5. I take, my opponent takes. Check. I mean, that has to be better for me. Okay, king castles, and I can just take and then take the pawn. Oh wait, no, I can't. Takes, hits the rook. Okay, we'll bring the rook to the center first. And even then, I'm not sure if I want to give up my long diagonal bishop. Okay, bot doesn't give us the chance either way. Plays h4 to reinforce that pawn on g5. And you know what? f6 looks so interesting that I'm very tempted to do it. And I know I'll probably get punished by Stockfish for even suggesting this move again. In a game of chess against a human, this would probably work because it would give you really good attacking chances. Doubled up rooks, open file, gives the bishop a reason to be on the long diagonal besides just staring at the other bishop. But I don't know if this bot will crumble under that sort of psychological pressure when this bot doesn't even have feelings. At least as far as I know, right? Rook to e1 doesn't, completely ignores the tension. Tension, what's that? Anyways, rook taking on e6 now. Let's see, now we have the choice to defend, play pawn to e5, or ignore it and try to just take on g5. So if I do play e5, there's takes, we're hitting the queen. So we can centralize our knight with that tempo. My concern would be d5, and then it totally shuts down this bishop. The knight has no way to get through, and at that point, we're back to playing with just one or two pieces in the attack. So let's do this. I'm going to take on g5 first. I'm first going to give the position the opportunity to actually open up. Oh, nice. Wait, is this really good? Takes and then h6. Oh, wait, h6, rook takes. Yeah, right, because who cares about the knight defending the rook when you can counterattack the queen? Danger levels. All right. Rook to f6 is another option here. Probably have to go with that. Queen to g4. h6 probably still works there. Rook takes. I can just take this. I mean, we're probably doing fine. I don't love this position. Queen to e2. Okay, what's the idea here? h6, and then how do you defend this? Or even better, double up the rooks, and how do you defend that pawn? Okay, let's start with h6, since that wins the knight. Queen to e3. Sure, we can just trade. Pawn takes back. Rook to f5. Queen takes. Takes, rook takes g5, and we've just won a clean piece. So that looks pretty good. Okay, f4, we'll double up the rooks. No issue, we'll just find a different weakness to attack. Queen to e4 pins the rook to the queen. Interesting, and if I want to unpin, I have to let go of the defense of this pawn. But I could just play queen to f7 as well, so let's do that. Rook to h1, again, there's no need to play flashy chess here. We can just take on f4 and then get mated. I'm kidding. How do we get this pressure off our backs? g6 maybe? Is there a crazy sacrifice? Queen to f2, or rather, queen to f2, king h3 is forced. Rook to f3, king up, check. Is that with the right piece? Check, king to h5. Grasping at straws at this point. There's probably no need to overcomplicate myself so much anyways. Let's see, what do we do here? Queen back to g6, looking to win the queen. Oh, wow, he falls for it. That's insane. Okay, check, and then I just win the queen. Oh, king to f3. Can I just insist, though? Now I just win the queen outright. Oh, with zero compensation. Okay, sweet. We got him with a little tactic. That was actually kind of similar to what a human might fall for. Let's just look for mate here, wrap it up. Okay, thank you. It loves to give away free pieces. Watch the other rook come to h8 as well. Okay, no, we get rook to f2. This is now forced mate. Go ahead and just, whoop, neither of those are my pieces. And with that, we win game number 4. Okay, finally, we're moving on to the sensei. So let's move on to game number 5. All right, we were playing the sensei who says meow. Oh, it's a cat. Oh, I don't know why I thought that was like a really long, snout. No, he's got a little tiny snout. It's just his beard. Okay. Sensei, we don't know what his rating is, so I'm just going to play a London. Any wise words for me? And I am the tiger within that jungle, so I'm assuming he alluded to a jungle a second ago. A very cute small tiger, if that's what you are. Prepare for a challenge. Meow. I think I'm prepared. You are not long for this game. Okay. Accept my moves as universal truth. Oh, he's holding a little chess pawn as well. That's quite funny. Okay, whoa, g5 is super aggressive. Why are we playing into this? You'll be running until you run out of room. Okay, queen to b6 is super annoying. There's no knight to c3 ideas looking for knight to b5 because the c6 pawn just covers it. So I guess b3, we can trade off queens. Bishop to f5. I mean, I'm fine to trade. You're trespassing on my hospitality. Pieces don't always matter. I feel like they usually matter. Go ahead and castle out of the way. Okay, and the problem is now we have this super weakened diagonal, so we'll try to bolster it just a little bit. Knight to d7, probably looking for e5 breaks. Let's see if we can't move the knight to c4. Oh, queen b5? Why don't I just take? Trade queen c4? That looks really nice for me. Okay, a6. If I take, it's doubled pawns, but I have a weakness here. I could just push a4, then takes. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd rather just leave the doubled pawns. Let's move rook to c1 and put him on the file and get him off the diagonal. Okay, we take back towards the center. Rook to b1 looks at a weakness now. It's defended by the knight, so I think we're doing quite well here. b5, that is free. Thank you. Don't forget to thank your opponents when they give you free material. Okay, rook to c2. Yeah, I saw this move, but this is defended, so it's definitely still free material. Let's just push the pawn. Unless this is, oh no, I didn't see that idea. Oh, I got too excited. I forgot to respect the sensei. Oh, classic error of judgment, not respecting the sensei. All right, well, there's no choice but to lose material here, so we might as well continue as normal. Just pretend like nothing happened. Surely he won't double up the rooks to force a trade. All right, he's doubled up the rooks to force a trade. Rook c1, oh no. I will insist on pushing this pawn as long as the sensei allows. Okay, he's not going to allow for much longer. Understood. Yeah, problem is there's not even weaknesses in his position that I can, even feint going after. Yeah, this stinks of slow crushing defeat. Let's see what we can do. Maybe trade off the knight for the bishop. Takes, sure. I don't really want to trade pieces. We'll go knight to f5 right away. Ooh, bishop back. Interesting. It's more of a admiring the technique with which the bot destroys me sort of interesting. Not really interesting like there's opportunities for me. Yeah, h5, beautiful technique, right? Just move the pawn right on through. What else do we have here? I mean, let's try g3, I guess. King to h7. Yeah, I want to activate my own king as well. I mean, we're deep enough in the endgame that it's justified. f2 is now dropping. We'll take on a5. Okay, rook does take back. So we've temporarily alleviated this issue, but now we have this issue of the knight. Let's go back. Okay, rook simply comes back and puts more pressure on us, and this is where we start to feel that Python sort of feeling, where your pieces have nowhere to move. You have hopes and dreams for them, but the bot does not. Oh, and this bishop is totally trapped as well. Oh man, oh that's tough. Okay, off you go, little guy. It was nice playing with you. I don't even want to trade my knight, but it's not like there's too many good spots. Knight to f5, what, knight d3, and then everybody's staring at my f2 pawn. No way to defend it, so I actually want to trade here, which is insane, because I'm down 2 pieces. He could literally just sacrifice here and still, oh, knight to d2 is amazing. Holy smokes. All right, you know what? I have to call it when I see it. I'll play through this very quickly just so we can get the official checkmate on the board. And with that, we do lose to the sensei. I'm genuinely curious what the rating of the sensei is. It kind of reminds me of what Gotham Chess does, where he hides the opponent's rating. And for me personally, I do respect that idea because it forces you to play the board and not play the player. But for me personally, I feel like it leaves it to my imagination how high this bot is rated. And unfortunately, my imagination can imagine some pretty big numbers for that bot, even if it's actually rated like 2300 or something like that. But anyways, with that, we do finish all 5 games. We defeated up to the 1800 bot, and we'll see what the sensei is rated if it's ever revealed. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below what you guys thought of us playing the bots. Do you guys agree with my idea that there should be some extra kick to it? And I will see you guys in the next one.